Does it ever happen to you? You walk away from a conversation and realize you didn't say a single thing you actually meant. When someone asks, "How are you?" and the answer comes out warm, polished, perfectly shaped for that person, that moment, that version of you they expect. And somewhere underneath it, you catch yourself wondering, who was that? You've done it for as long as you can remember. With one friend, you're louder, with another, more serious. With your family, you shrink into a shape that was assigned to you years ago, the peacekeeper, the responsible one, the one who doesn't need anything. At work, you're competent and calm. In a group, you scan the room and become whoever would fit best, adjusting your opinions, your energy, your voice, often before you even realize you're doing it. And it works. That's the strange part. People like you. They feel comfortable around you. They say you're easy to talk to. But later, alone, you feel hollow because you're not sure anyone has ever actually met you. And you start to wonder, if every version of me is slightly different, is any of them real? Am I kind, or do I just mirror kindness? Do I even have a personality, or did I just collect pieces of everyone I have ever needed to please? There are actually names for what you've been doing. Number 1, social mimicry. Psychologists Charton and Barr called it the chameleon effect, the unconscious tendency to mirror the postures, mannerisms, and speech patterns of the people around us. Everyone does it to some degree. It's part of how humans bond. But highly sensitive people take it further, much further. When the first thing you learned to read was tension, when a parent's mood shaped your safety, when being too much brought rejection, mirroring stopped being a social tool. It became a survival mechanism. Number 2, masking. Researchers describe it as the conscious or unconscious suppression of natural behaviors in order to fit in. It's well documented in neurodivergence, but it shows up powerfully in sensitive people too, especially those who learned early that their authentic self was inconvenient. The psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott gave this a deeper name. He described the true self, the spontaneous, alive core of who we are, and the full self, a protective shell built when your real feelings, needs, and expressions weren't met with attunement. The full self isn't a lie, it's an adaptation. It's what you build to stay safe, to be acceptable, to be liked, to survive in an environment that couldn't hold the full truth of you. Number 3, self-monitoring. Social psychologist Mark Snyder found that some people are high self-monitors, constantly adjusting their behavior to match the social situation. Sensitive people often become extreme self-monitors, not because they're fake, but because they've learned since childhood that fitting in requires constant vigilance. The thing is, you weren't born a chameleon. You were taught by environments that couldn't handle your depth that the safest thing to be was whatever everyone else needed. Masking doesn't mean you're fake. It means you learn to survive before you learn to be seen. Social mimicry doesn't mean you have no personality. It means your sensitivity allowed you to read people so deeply that you could reflect back exactly what they needed, and you did it so young, so instinctively that you mistook it for emptiness. And the exhaustion you feel after social situations, that's not introversion alone. That's the labor of running a full self for hours, adjusting, monitoring, managing. Of course you're tired. Anyone would be. And now, as an adult who starts to understand what they are dealing with, you can begin to notice the mask without hating it. It kept you safe. It still does sometimes. And yet slowly, in spaces that feel safe with people who have earned it, let it soften. The real you was never missing. It was just waiting very quietly for permission to come home. If this felt true for you, there is more here whenever you're ready.